All right, welcome to a weekday video, not a weekend video. It's been a while. I thought I I didn't actually realize it was a public holiday in the US, so the markets are closed. So I thought I would do a video tonight because I missed it at the weekend there. So uh, all's well that ends well. Hopefully, we will get a good, thorough review of what's happened and preview of what's ahead of us this week. Um, if you like what I do, press the like button. That helps. I don't think I've ever asked that before, but apparently it helps. So I'd appreciate if you do that. Um, let's get on. I'm going to go through the dollar FX first and then into the wider markets. Uh, this is what I'm tracking at the moment in Eurodollar. The 4 hour count, this is wave one up. We've got a possible three-wave pattern lower in wave A, possible three waves up in wave B, and now looking for 5 waves down in wave C. So wave C, all going well, should fall back towards 103, back below 104.50 at a minimum. But probably into the 103 to fill out this trend channel. Looking for 5 waves down. I'll go into the hourly count here and I'll show you what that looks like. Once this is complete, though, that will complete a very large impulse pattern to the upside. So we'd probably be expecting a larger rally in wave 3 at that point. Okay, so this is still ahead of us, so it looks like at least for the next month or so, we should be heading downwards. The initial move off, you'll see on the 4 hour count there, the price just pipped above the 78.6 retracement in wave B and then moved impulsively lower. So the initial move lower looks like 5 waves down. The pattern off that low is definitely corrective, but it hasn't been, it hasn't exactly revealed its hand just yet. So we've got wave A up of a second wave. So it's probably wave A. I'm going with a possible triangle at the moment. Maybe wave B comes in early tomorrow, possibly. And then we'd look for another pump towards probably 110.50 maybe to complete wave C. So that would give us 3 waves up in wave 2. And then we'd look lower into wave 3. So all going well, we'll hold a lower high tomorrow in wave 2, and then by Wednesday we should head down into wave 3, maybe even tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Let's go to cable. You can see a second wave high is what I've been looking at in cable. That's probably still up for grabs, to be quite honest, but at the moment we have the potential for a second wave high in place. And I'll show you what the short-term action off the recent high is definitely reasonably impulsive looking. So once we get this line in here, you can see wave 2 topped out at 128, what was it, 128.26 or so, maybe 128.30. And then we've moved reasonably impulsively off that low or off that high. So what have I got here in the hourly count? 128.28 as the wave 2 high. So a possible 5 wave move lower into wave 1, and the move off that low has been definitely range bound. Possible ending diagonal wave C is what I've been suggesting. So we could be talking about wave A up, maybe wave B down into that low, and then we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave C. So far today, there's been very light volume, obviously, so the reversal hasn't caught any fire underneath it yet. I would like to see that overall high there at wave 2, 128.28 hold, and wave 2 to hold, and then move lower into wave 3. So that's the outlook for this week. Quite similar to euro dollar, to be honest. Okay, so dollar yen, get rid of you. The current pattern in dollar yen is quite interesting because it seems to be that we have come to the end of that wave C decline. So wave 4, the initial target for wave 4 was at the previous fourth wave low, which was 137.29. We didn't get that far, We bottomed out at, what was it, 140 or so, and then we moved impulsively higher off that low. So at the moment, it looks like we have the beginnings of wave 5 up underway. So the hourly count certainly should suggest that is the case. I'm looking at a possible 5-wave pattern complete in wave 1, and that'll be wave 1 of wave 1, wave 1 blue of wave 1 in green of wave 5 in red. So there's a lot of potential here for the dollar to rally quite strong. So we'll see how that goes. The 5-wave pattern up can be viewed in a couple of different ways, but at the moment, looking at a possible wave 1 in blue, wave 2 in blue done, wave 1 in pink, wave 2 in pink, and now moving higher in wave 3 of 3. The alternate count here is just a larger version of wave 1 and 2 in blue. So we should probably know by tomorrow. If we break above 146.40 again, that should probably indicate that wave 3 is underway. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, there is the Dow, the ever-present, always holding stock market that does not want to decline. But it doesn't really matter whether people want it to decline or not, it will decline. I suppose that's the point. I've been working with this larger 5-wave pattern in wave C of B. So we're all out at new all-time highs, but that'll be in wave B of an expanded flat correction. So don't hold your breath here for this high to hold. Okay, here's the wave B high. The market has been quite choppy over the last month. So, since the previous high, the 20th of December, so that's almost a month ago, we had an initial spike lower, but that seems to be, I'm looking at that initial move as part of a running flat correction now. Could still be a triangle, but running flat correction wave 4, and then again possible ending diagonal pattern wave 5. So we've basically gone nowhere for a month overall. So you can see, I suppose, how the pattern just tends or has tended to be more and more and more complex as we went along. So we are sitting, well, the close on Friday was sitting pretty much at the close on the 20th of December. So not a whole lot to add to that, apart from the fact that maybe we are creating a topping pattern again. So you can go with the longer term. You can see, even though the market is holding out the highs, the momentum has completely died, and we haven't had any consequences to that yet. So I would hope and suggest that the consequences are coming, and we will see how that goes over the next few days. So impulsive move lower. Let's see if this week finally brings that into fruition. Okay, so we go to gold, and we see 4-hour count, a possible wave B high. So you can see this ABC up in wave B, and then an impulsive move lower in wave 1, and a lower high wave 2. So the idea being here that we were moving down into wave C, and we should trace out 5 waves down into that wave C to complete wave 2. So a very large ABC pattern in wave 2. Here we go on the hourly count. You can see 5-wave pattern lower, possibly into wave 1, 3 waves up into wave 2, and then off that wave 2, it's been an interesting one to chart, that's for sure. Last week kind of threw the cat among the pigeons, really, to be honest. So we now have a running flat correction wave 2, reasonable enough for 5-wave pattern down into wave 1, and then an ABC pattern up in wave 2. We'll see whether this pattern holds early tomorrow. We should move lower impulsively again into wave 3 of 3 this week. Overall, I'd like to see wave 3 probably fall back below 1900. That'd be a reasonable target, I think, for this third wave down to hit. Okay, let's go to crude oil now. The 4-hour count, I'll have to update a little bit. Now, here we have a wave 4 possibly in place, and then an impulsive move lower with a corrective lower high. So we're still kind of keeping the downside bias here without yet the pattern confirming this 5th wave down. So we still have a 5-wave pattern lower. Let's see if this pattern holds. Then we should see a 5th wave make a new low, probably below, well, at least below 67.80. So wave 5, I think, once we do see 5 waves down in wave 5, I think we'll probably hit $63, and that marks the previous wave B low. So that's kind of the, let's say, a calling or a suggested level for a completed wave 1 down. You can see the alternate count here is still possible. Depending on the action this week now, we will be able to differentiate between which one of these is correct, the main count or the alternate count. If we tend to drift higher again, then that will trigger the alternate count. We'll probably look towards a high somewhere around $80, $81 again for wave 2. Okay, so here's the hourly count. You can see this, the 3 waves up in wave 4 is what I've been tracking. Well, there's a couple of ways you could view this. The 4-hour count suggests that wave 4 is already in place, and we're moving down into wave 5. I think probably being a little bit cautious here in the hourly count. Wave A up and a possible triangle B wave with another rally in wave C yet to come. Larger 4th wave possibility. I think if we break below 69.36 again, then we will confirm that wave 5 is underway. So that'll be wave 1 and 2 of 5. I'll actually put that in right now. So here we go. So that would be the beginning of an impulsive move lower into wave 5. So we'll probably know pretty soon, depending on the action in the next few sessions, probably depending on the action tomorrow. If we move lower, if we break the wave A low, that will signal that wave 5 is underway. Okay, let's move on. We are, believe it or not, we're still holding a possible wave 2 pattern here in the S&P, even though we're kind of don't throw away from invalidating that count. But even if we do invalidate it, it will be a B wave high, and we'll still look for an impulsive move lower into wave C. So, split that wood any way you want. I think you'll come out the same way. It's going into the fire. Either way you split that log. So a possible, here's the hourly count. Wave A up, wave A down, wave B up, wave C down. The recent decline, which was impulsive looking, which was 5 waves down, turns out to be part of a larger 4th wave. So expanded flat correction, wave 4, and then a possible 5-wave pattern into wave 5. And we'll see tomorrow whether that holds out as whether this week holds out as a possible reversal week again. You can say that it'll never happen, but when everybody says it won't happen, that's usually the time it will happen. Okay, so we're kind of just holding out on this one, just like the Dow. I mean, the actual market has gone nowhere since the 20th of December. So sideways to nowhere. It's been a pretty strange and boring market to well, not particularly boring, but pretty strange one to follow, to be quite honest. Hopium is the word that comes to mind. Okay, here's the 4-hour count in the S&P, or sorry, in silver. Been kind of last week was an interesting week because we switched to the alternate count. So the alternate count is a B wave high, so 3 waves up quite clearly in a B wave, and then a C wave low yet to come. So I'm going to have to go out on this one. So you can see a possible wave 1, A, B, C. This pattern will be proved wrong. This pattern will be proved wrong if we break 1990 again. So wave C down, that I'm tracking right here, wave C down must complete above 1990. So far, it's been pretty impulsive looking to the downside. So we've got a nice impulse wave down, ABC up in wave 2, nice 5-wave pattern down in wave 1. Maybe we're still working on ABC up in wave 2. Whether or not, that could be wave A up, wave B down, wave C up. We'll see how that goes tomorrow. But it looks like we have a possibility of a third decline in silver this week also. So it's going to be a tough one to keep this one above 1990, to be quite honest. Especially if we start moving like we did off the high. So, if we get the same again, that brings us right down to invalidation level. So in order for this count to hold, 1990 must hold. I've got the daily count here. Here's another alternate. That's 3 waves down in wave A, 3 waves up in wave B, and then we look for a larger 5-wave pattern down in wave C, which could bring us all the way down to about, who knows, $12 or $13 again. And we'll see when the time comes whether that's true or not. For the moment, on the hourly count, wave 1 down, wave 2 up. Let's see if we get a continuation lower this week in wave 3. And that does the markets. I'm not going to, well, maybe I should just touch on Bitcoin for a second. Where are you? I want to go to the daily count on Bitcoin. So you can see ABC up in wave B, 62% retracement level, and then an impulsive move lower. So we do have a 3-wave pattern. We do have a previous second wave that were just topped out at the previous second wave. We have, I would say, a rejection at a pretty significant Fibonacci retracement level. And of course, we have the world and its mother thinking that Bitcoin is the solution again. I'm very happy and very open to admit that I did not see this rally coming, but I'm also quite happy to suggest that this is a 3-wave correction in a B wave. So, again, split that log whichever way you want. If we have 5 waves up in wave C done, then this move lower last week is pretty much right on cue. You can see the hourly count. 4th wave low, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Again, a possible ending diagonal 5th wave. And then an impulsive move lower, wave 1, 2, maybe wave 3 into last week's low. Wave 4 up today, and wave 5 down yet to come. So I would be looking for a break of that previous corrective range here, back below 40,000 again. I think will be a pretty heavy hint that wave 1 is in play. And that, my friends, is that. And I have done the markets, the bad news in the markets. I'll give you the good news of eternal salvation. I may not live next week to be able to tell you this, but we are all going to come to the end of the line. We're all going to shuffle off this mortal coil. This body of yours is going to end up in a box or in an urn or something. And we're going to face our maker. So you either face your maker in your sins, carrying your sin debt into eternity, and that's an eternal price to pay. But you don't have to do that. If you do carry your sin debt into eternity, then you will pay for it in eternity, not in the presence of God, estranged from God. So you don't have to worry about that. God did do something for us. We are guilty sinners. God sent someone to pay for that sin, and all you have to do is accept that. Jesus came, died on the cross for your sins, and rose on the 3rd day. And if you confess to be part of, He is the Lord of your life, you pass from death into life. You pass from under Adam, to under the Messiah. I'm tired now, and I'm fumbling my words, but this is probably the most important message I could ever give you. And I hope to see you in heaven. So that's that. I will see subscribers tomorrow. I'm going to do an update anyway tonight, just to kind of start the week on the right foot. If you want to join the website, go to bullwins.org and check out the website. And I will see you over there tomorrow. So for the rest of the week, hopefully I'll see you on Friday for another video. Until then, Godspeed and God bless.